Hello, my sweet summer children, or my hard winter bears. I'm back with some juice to get you through the long night. In my last two videos, I talked about the size of the Northern Army led by Jon and the size of the Targaryen army led by Daenerys. If you missed those two videos, do not worry, I got you covered. They are both on one playlist and linked at the top. Also, if you are new to my channel, then please click that subscribe button and join the Sweet Summer family. Today we are diving into the frigid, icy waste of the land of always winter. We know the White Walkers are coming. We have watched them raise corpses into animated drones season after season. But what are their numbers? Their true numbers. And who can they animate? And how close do they have to be? And does it matter how long you've been dead? The book didn't give us much information on the White Walkers. In season 1, we are first introduced to the White Walkers when the Night's Watch was tracking a group of wildlings and comes across those wildlings already slaughtered. In analyzing this scene, there are 8 heads. So they killed 8 people to make this psychopathic artwork. And there's this little child that is stuck to a tree. She is later animated and turns into a white. So out of all the people the walkers killed here, it looks like they only turned one into a white and only had one recruit for their army. They later add Waymar Royce to their army as well. So their total right now is 2. The next time we see a white is when Sam and Jon take their vows. They find 2 dead men and bring them back to Castle Black. Sam notices that there is no dead body smell, but they do look dead. You agree they look dead. I agree they look dead. When night falls, one of the whites awakens and attacks Lord Commander Mormont, and Jon kills it. This is one of the men that left with Benjen. Sam says he was touched by a White Walker and that's why his eyes turned blue. But do you really have to be touched by a White Walker? Because Hardhome, the White Walkers didn't go around touching everybody. And why was this man still asleep? And then he awoken and he specifically attacked the Lord Commander. Can the Night King control the whites like drones? Giving him specific orders. And if there's magic in the wall, then how did they get through the wall with the undead whites? Now, that's all the questions that we have. And we don't know the answers to them. So let's talk about what we know. We know the White Walkers are nocturnal creatures. They sleep during the day and they hunt at night. But how many people have they been able to add to their undead army? Well, we have a couple of events that have happened on the show where we know some numbers. Firstly, we need to address the difference between White Walkers and whites. This question has came up so many times, I just have to address it real quick. White Walkers are magical creatures completely made of ice. Their known weaknesses are dragon glass and Valyrian steel. The whites are people who have died, and the White Walkers reanimated them to use them as basically weapons. So they are zombies that have no free will. They're basically drones, and their weakness is fire. So one thing we don't know is how long the White Walkers have been creating this undead army of whites. Without further delay, let's get into the numbers. The Night's Watch leaves Castle Black for the Great Ranging with 200 men. They get another 100 men when they meet up with the Half Hand. But at the Fist of the First Men, a lot of those numbers were killed by whites, and only 44 brothers and blacks survived the attack. So that leaves 250 dead crows to add to the army, less the ones they use for their artwork. So right now we're at 252 men in the Night King's army. Rewinding a bit, on the way to Craster's Keep, the Night's Watch has passed through 7 empty villages. They later find out that the free folk from all these places have converged in the Frostfangs and joined the king beyond the wall, Mance Rayder. Mance's army is said to have over 100,000 men. 1,000 were killed during the Battle of Castle Black, and Stannis killed some of them as well. But the good thing is that they did burn the dead, so they can't be risen as whites. 4,000 come through the wall with Tormund, and the rest regroup at Hardhome. We don't know how many wildlings Stannis killed. So let's say that Stannis cut Mance's army in half. So 50,000 men. So 50,000 of the wildlings converged at Hardhome. Now, before Jon even gets to Hardhome, some of those 50,000 have died from the elements and starvation. In the books, they have started to eat their dead, and some have been captured by slavers. So we will say 40,000 are there, and about 5,000 make it off with Jon. So about 35,000 are added to the Night King's army. So from the instances that we know about, the Night King has 35,252 in his army. But then there are things that we don't know. And those are, how long have the White Walkers been collecting their dead? We know ranging parties have been going missing for a while now. We know when Gilly bumps into Jon and Sam, at that time Craster has 19 wives. We have no way of telling how many sons he has given to the White Walkers to make more White Walkers, but Craster's what, like 50 or 60? So let's say since he was 16, he has given them a son every year. And we know one of his wives, Nella, had 6 boys. So let's round it off and say 50, even though others believe it's 99. But Craster's sons are turned to White Walkers and not Whites, so that's a little bit different. There are a few stills from different Walker scenes where we can speculate. This scene, this White, has a Stark shield. We haven't seen the Starks go beyond the wall, so they may have been bone collecting for a while now, which would be devastating. We can also take some picture comparisons and compare. This is Stannis' army. He is said to only have taken 1,000 men with him to the wall. This is the Night King's army. This is the Unsullied. There are maybe 8,000 to 13,000 Unsullied here. This is the Night King's army. So what do you think? I actually don't think the Night King has that many men. And Whites aren't really that hard to kill. I mean, with dragons or wildfire or just fire. I would say, given what little information we have been given generously, we have to give the White Walkers at least 100K. And that's being generous. I'm also sure they keep all their army with them when they have their army, because it's not like they have castles to protect or anything to leave men behind for. I think their army here doesn't even look as much as the Unsullied, honestly, but we will just go with it and give them 100,000 in their army. With the Northern forces and the Targaryen forces, the Night King is done. But there are a few questions I have. When Bran reaches the cave, there are skeletons fighting him. So can the Night King animate anyone no matter how long they've been dead? I think it might be possible. I don't know, guys. I just feel like his army isn't that big. I'm not giving him them numbers here. He has the edge because every person that dies that isn't burned can join his army. And I still think the Seven Kingdoms might take the edge. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm really curious to know. Out of all of my army number videos, this one was the absolute hardest. As always, thanks for watching. Like this video if you like it. You can connect with me on these social medias. Please click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you can become a sweet summer child. Okay, my sweet summer children.